Welcome to the Hands On Podcast with Jim and Dan Miller. On today's special Monday edition, we are joined by Gus Congemi of Live the Wildlife TV. Gus has a show on Pursuit Channel.
Pursuit Channel, yes.
Yep. Has, 7 seasons now?
This place is going into my 7th season.
Going into the 7th season, and has hunted all over the world, has the SEI #1 brown bear with archery.
Yeah.
And he's got some crazy stories.
Yeah.
Now I'm all talked out. We've been here for like 2 hours talking, hanging out. Now it's like I got to get on the air and retell the stories. But I mean, my thing was a guy who ran camera for me and produced your pilot.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I kind of heard about you guys. Saw the pilot, and the fact that I live in New York and you guys are over here in Jersey. It's less than an hour door to door. So I thought I'd kind of like to get to know you guys a little bit, only because I do a lot of training. I'm 59, so I do a lot of training just to be able to go on these hunts.
Yeah.
And I thought it was just a kind of a cool thing between the training and the hunting, eating what you kill, that whole mindset.
Yeah.
I thought it would be kind of cool to get together.
Yeah. We met through Chris. He's a cool dude. He's got some cool stories himself.
Yes.
About.
I'll tell you the coolest story. I'll tell you the coolest story about
Mexico hunt.
that was pretty cool. But I'll tell you about another near-death one.
Uh-huh.
So we're in Alaska. We're on a self-guided moose hunt. Hooked up to this buddy of mine who, we were up there. I was up there for 42 days. So I had a layover between black bear hunting on a boat. We were going, and we were going to do all self-guided stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then he said, "Hey man, you want to hunt with my dad, moose? I mean, you can go up to the cabin and." We don't let nobody there, but I'll let you and the cameraman go. They're really cool people. I still stay in touch with them. And so we go up, and it's not really moose. It's moose season, but it's real early and really thick foliage, and it's pouring rain every day. The rivers are just so swollen. So anyway, we just happen to be sitting there talking, doing some stuff, and we glass it, and we see this moose shedding its velvet off its antlers. So now you see these white antlers. I'll keep the story short. So we book our way around. Boom, got in on this moose, shoot him. Man, had to push. We walked him through the lake. And I'm not the tallest guy in the world. So I'm walking along with me and this guy's dad, and we're floating this moose. And I'm just thinking any second I'm going to step in and sink. But anyway, so we get the moose out, cut it up. Great. We fill his freezers, and it's awesome. Well, with these television shows, there's a little bit of reenactment. How's that sound? Is that like a good word? I'm trying to. So basically, when you're running after a moose, you're not videoing every step of the way.
Yeah.
Not the good-looking, slow motion, nice stuff. Yeah. I mean, we got cameras rolling, but you're moving. Yeah. So to make the story, we're trying to tell the story. And actually, while we were going, the guy's his strap on his rifle, the sling, broke. So he had like a zip tie. So the thing broke on the way there, blah, blah. So we're going to reenact this. So you got to picture this. We start walking, so it's the guy with the rifle, me, then Chris, behind us with the camera, walking.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, wait, Gus, he had 2 cartridges in the sling."
Mm-hmm.
So he ejects 2 cartridges, puts them in the sling. And then we're going to have the strap break. But he didn't realize that when he did the 2 ejection, he chambered a 3rd round. So as the rifle, the sling breaks on camera, slides over across my chest, hits the ground, and goes off. Me and Chris, so we rewatched that footage, and it's like still to this point, it wasn't so bad when we were there.
Yeah.
But when you look at it now, it's like, oh man, we came that close to dying. It's funny.
For reenacting something.
Yeah, I mean, it was just so stupid. Yeah. It's almost as bad as the bear when I got stabbed with the knife from the guy. And I'm going, really, man, I just shoot this bear. Come back the next day and I get stabbed. Anyway.
It's crazy because we've hunted for like 15, something like that, 15, a little more than that.
Yeah, like almost 20
18,
years.
Yeah, 20 years. Like we grew up. I mean, our father hunted, and it was never that successful. And he grew up, shooting a doe here and there, and shooting birds and stuff. But
shooting a doe here and there.
But like once we kind of got into it, we hunted around here, and we haven't had much opportunity to get like out of state. You know, we hunted in Pennsylvania when we shot the pilot. I had the opportunity to hunt down in Oklahoma for wild pigs, and it's always been like chomping at the bit to get out and to go to Alaska or to Colorado, Montana, and experience some of these things. And it's in the last few months, you know, we've been creating these connections with people, and you know, through guys like Chris, and you know, meeting yourself, and the guys at A&W Nature Labs. They introduced us to some people, and it's amazing how many like legitimate hunters are in this area.
Yeah.
Like guys that have been everywhere and done these things that like that we want to do, and it's like, man, you know, I'm from New Jersey, and it's like nobody else from here gets it, but there really are people that that get it and get to do it, and it makes it even worse. Yeah. that haven't been out. Yeah.
Here's the deal: New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, parts of and Pennsylvania, 4 million hunting licenses.
Yeah.
Think about how many people that is, right?
Yeah.
Where's the capital of the world? Look at New York. People from Jersey. There's affluent people here with money.
Yeah.
Not for nothing. And you could do a lot of these because I've done a lot of self-guided stuff in Alaska. It still costs you to get there, your food, getting all your equipment there. It still costs money, especially doing a TV show.
Yeah.
But so these people travel around the world. I've met so many interesting people just from our area, and that's my whole thing. Is of course, you know, I didn't start hunting until I was 31. I'm from Brooklyn. So, you know, already I'm Italian from Brooklyn, I'm short. Now, all these things are 3 strikes against me, you know. But anyway, I get there, and, like, I love to go to places like Alaska because, to me, it was the adventure. But you don't realize how many people here have already done it and people you talk to. So it is cool.
Yeah, it's definitely the community is bigger than it seems. You know, I mean, we're in Sussex County, so this is like farm country,
right?
You know, rednecks. You know, we're hillbillies.
but not for nothing, man. We got some of the best black bear hunting in North America right here in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Now, you guys know what bears are taken out of here now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You could bait in New Jersey. You could bait it yourself. You could set your your stands. There are some rules that are kind of strange. You know, it's Jersey, man. I don't throw my hands up. I mean, you could bait a bear, but you have to be 100 yards from the bait in a tree stand.
Yeah.
You can't hunt a trail coming in, which is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
But if you're on the ground, you could be right in the bait pile.
Yeah.
So there's some rules that you have to follow. But it's great because these are world-class animals right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And nobody knows about it.
Yeah.
And like I said, they hear the same thing about New York. And I think even some of the deer, I was surprised, the size of the deer that get taken in Jersey. Look, we both have them in New York and New Jersey, some large deer, but we just don't have the numbers.
Yes.
So, you know, you don't think of it as a whitetail mecca. But still, to me, setting your own stuff, it's just way cooler than going to an outfitter.
Yeah.
I know some outfitter friends of mine who are not going to be happy to hear that, but it's much more gratifying when you do it yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then, you know, you're getting yourself prepped for these trips. You know, if you're doing stuff here, you're setting your stands, you're packing your meat out, you're doing all your things here. You're getting yourself ready to go to Alaska because it's not a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's a place that, you know, you guys fight in a ring. You have to train.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Because stuff happens. Same thing in Alaska. You go there, you train to go. Be prepared for the worst because when it happens, there's nobody coming to get you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to, you know, you got to do it yourself. But it's still, I've seen some of the most amazing places in the world because of hunting.
Yeah.
Places that hardly any humans have ever been because there would be no reason to go there unless you were going there to hunt.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gus, that's what I'm kind of trying to get my head around, right? So you
where'd this
kind
voice
of
come from? Where'd this voice come from?
Look behind you. We got people everywhere.
It's around me.
You know, so coming from Brooklyn, there's a lot of people that are passionate about hunting. I mean, all those licenses. But you really turned it into a business, and you've had kind of profound success in this industry. What do you attribute that to?
What, you say I'm money hungry or something? Like I got to...
That's exactly, yeah.
Is that where you're going with this?
Yeah, I'm about to ask you.
Joe Pesci.
He's from New York. Well, what do you mean? I mean,
funny?
maybe I'm not really getting what you're
Funny,
saying.
funny?
What are you trying to say? Like, no, I'm kidding. What happened, well, for me was that I tasted venison. I had a log home upstate New York, and I never hunted a day in my life. And I tasted venison, and somehow, man, I'll be straight with you, it clicked. Nobody in my family ever hunted. I didn't know much about hunting. I played ball my whole life. I never cared about hunting. And when I tasted the venison, it somehow was like, wow, I could go harvest my own food. Look, I know there's food in the supermarket. And I don't want to say this the wrong way so people get offended, but look, I eat meat. And what kind of a hypocrite would I be if I eat meat that somebody else will kill, but I won't kill it myself?
Yeah.
So my point is, if you do eat meat, you should learn to kill it yourself, if you had to. I'm not telling you should go out and do it, but it's a cool thing to know. It's just it's just something that it's liberating to know you can go in the woods and harvest your own food. So after I tasted it, boom, I started hunting. And I started with a bow. Bow has always been my passion. I met a guy on another TV show. Met him up in Canada. Cool dude, Mike Avery. We just started talking for a while. I was going up to do a brown bear hunt in Alaska. He sent me a bow. I went up, and I was on his show for like 3 years. And what happened was he, after 25 years in the industry, he had enough. He just does radio now. He syndicated radio all over Michigan. And I had all this footage. So, it's funny because I talked to you guys about it at the ATA show. I'm thinking, oh, the sponsors love me.
Yeah.
These guys love me. I'm killing all kinds of stuff. These guys really like me. Till you go to them to get a check.
Yeah.
Just being honest. I mean, this is how hard it is to get off the ground. I mean, most people who hear about this, how do you get started in this industry, especially now with all the online stuff. I mean, you just need to build a following.
Yeah.
You got to show them numbers. So it took a while to get this rolling, but it just became a passion for me. I mean, I still have my drywall company, and we still do work in New York and Connecticut, and but I do this, and I don't know, it's doing okay. It's going into the 7th season.
Had a little bit of success.
A little bit. A little bit.
It's like one thing
bit.
that I absolutely like hunting in Alaska and absolutely love it, and then it's like drywall, something that I fucking hate.
Hey,
but it's two things that I'm bad at, like hunting and drywall.
I'm in that club, man. I
Well,
enjoy
the only thing is, you probably had bad. He doesn't seem like a crybaby drywaller.
I had
We
no,
were
I had,
framers.
I had bad
so
teaching.
we
involved.
always dealt with crybaby wall. They would be like, "This is crooked. That is not where it's supposed.
Well,
There's not a nailer here. You got to come back and put a nailer."
But the funny thing is, I don't know how intense we can get on this.
As tense as you want.
Yeah, we check
Go.
all the
Go
checks.
for it.
You
So
you
it's like-
carpenters, you come through, you bang down the house, and you leave. Meanwhile, now we got a guy. He buys the house. He's laying in bed with his wife. She's looking up at the ceiling,
And
going,
it's
"God,
crooked.
I hate being here." So what is she doing? She's picking out my drywall. She ain't picking out your carpet. So I got to make the trip back and fix it. I mean, tell me how that's fair. You know what? I love the other trades. Once we cover it, their work disappears. Now, whatever happened before us, it's all our fault. We got to fix it.
See, now it goes down the line.
Straight, right?
I can remember bitching
But I'm the
about
last guy at the line. It's all dumping on me.
Well, that'd be the painter. I mean, but yeah, we used to do
No,
that
no,
with
no, the
we used to do that with the mason.
Whoa, the painters
It used to
don't.
be
No,
like,
no, don't
why
go
do
there.
I square the foundation? Shouldn't the mason have already squared the
You're right,
foundation?
you're right.
Why do I have to do that?
The problem is that once that's done,
Right.
you don't have homeowners bothering you.
Right.
The painter's not responsible for anything.
No.
Not today, because if that wall is crooked, it's paint. I
Right.
painted it. I didn't.
Right.
They always look to us. It's always the drywall guy, the poor drywall guy.
Well, the poor cracks. I'll give you the cracks. But that's just the wet wood right there.
You can hang drywall without a nailer, right?
Yeah, just float
It
it.
just
Yeah, you
floats
just
then.
float it, yeah.
It floats, right? You float.
Spackle and paint, make it what it
Yeah,
is.
right.
Don't be a
I
crybaby.
always
Just
laugh.
get it done.
I always, how many times I walked into construction trailers, especially with new guys, that new project manager stuff, and I walk in with a piece of perforated tape, that we use on the wall, and chalk, and I show, this won't hold your house together. Okay, it's paper and chalk. If that house moves, it's going to crack.
It's going to
not
crack.
my fault.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Enough of that. Let's get into some training stuff, man.
Yeah. So
Talk
yeah,
about some of you. I want to hear about you, man. I'm not that interesting. You
Come on.
guys. I came down here to hear about you guys.
we started fighting, we grew up wrestling.
Yeah.
And then we were working with our father, and we had a
They
really
were playing when they
yeah.
were supposed to be working with their father.
We had a really slow winter. We were
Yeah.
working up in by the ski slopes here up in Vernon,
Right.
and it was like that was the coldest winter we had in a while. Like we've had some now in the last
Right,
couple of
right.
years that have matched and been colder, but that was like one of the first times that I have memory of it being like single digits or below
Right.
0. And
Yeah, the wind chill.
yeah, you're up in this valley, and the wind would just whip down this valley, and it'd be you couldn't do anything. Like you had to wear big gloves, and then it's like you're trying to
Yeah, right.
you're trying to run a nail gun, you're trying to hold nails to
Right, right.
you know, to hammer in studs and stuff
Yeah.
like that, or even like braces and stuff. And every time we would try to do the decking, when you're gluing it, and
Right.
I think we were using ringers or something like that. This is before the screws took over.
Right, right.
It was too cold to use the
glue.
the glue.
Oh,
The glue
yeah,
would freeze
wow,
on you. and-
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, and Dan and I actually had a glue fight one day. gluing
Yeah,
gluing the hair.
glue in my
You
hair.
heat up the glue in front of the exhaust on the compressor, and then it'd be like, okay, it's ready to go. Well, they cut the top and start throwing it at each other.
No,
No,
They'd be like,
no,
no, we're supposed to
that's
be
not
putting
what
down the decking, guys.
No, that's not what happened. I
Yeah.
tried to hit it with like a baseball, and it fucking went all my
Yeah, it exploded. So like it was just tough, and we were both out of shape, and you're like trying to climb up onto the floor joist of the second floor or something like that. You're like struggling and kicking, and it's like, man alive, like
Yeah.
I am out of shape, and we had been watching a lot of the UFC and Pride at that point, and wanted to try, and we would always dick around
Yeah, it was
and wrestled around
Right.
at on the roach coach would come twice.
Right, right, right. Okay, yeah.
We'd stop at breakfast on the way in. An hour and a half later, the catering truck would come. We'd eat, and then like 2 hours later, they'd come again.
Roach coach.
And it's like so there was downtime, and we just kind of started wrestling around, and then a couple months later, we finally decided to give it a shot.
Yeah.
And then we told our first instructor, we're like, oh yeah, we want to fight. And he's like, okay, give me like 2 to 3 years. I'm like, all right, I was 21, he was 23 when we walked in the door, and like, okay. So we started training, and I think we trained once, and then it was like a Friday or Thursday or something like that, and we were both just banged up, so sore because we hadn't done anything, and took a couple days off, and then like the next week we come in, and I think we trained like 6 days a week, and then like 7 days a week for the first like year and a half.
Wow.
Yeah.
How much fighting was done? You just pretty much sparring every day, or you
No, we actually,
no.
you know what, we did Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu every day, and like we were gearing up. There was a grappling tournament.
Right.
3 months after we.
Oh, so you did your training every day and then gearing up for a tournament.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We went into this tournament. We both did well. The following week, he got us contracts for our first fight. So it was basically 6 months to the day, from the day we walked in to the day we stepped into our first ring to fight. And we made some mistakes along the way, and we were doing really well, but like you think about it, and it's like what we set up here at the gym and what we had. Yeah. It's like we had good jiu-jitsu instruction, particularly for where we were.
We were lucky at that point because the guy, we were, I guess he just saw us. We were hungry and wanted to do it, and we were, wrestlers, so we were
young, so we were
young,
capable of doing it.
He kind of just put all his attention on us. I mean, there were 10, 15 other guys in the class at the time. It was a small place, and it was like just concentrated on. He would just sit in front of us and watch us and coach us. And it kind of sucked because it was like, it kind of separated us. Some of the people were a little bitter towards us. I mean, it wasn't us doing it. It just happened that way. But we were fortunate in the fact that, I mean, he literally just coached us. Wow. Every night. It was just like, all right, you do this, change it. And he wasn't a high level. No. He was only a blue belt or purple belt.
At the time, I think he was a blue, and then he got his purple right after we
Jeff
started there.
was a blue belt?
He was a blue
Yeah.
belt.
Huh,
But
I
the
didn't
thing
know
is,
that.
like, he literally just sat in front of us and just taught us everything.
Yeah.
Like, hand position here, this,
Yeah.
that.
You could
And,
do that. You could attack this, that, and it's like,
so
all right.
it just like started clicking, and we were just picking it up
Yeah.
pretty quickly, just because we had that like intense instruction from the beginning. And we again, like Jim said, we both did well in our first grappling tournament. Someone did better than the other one. I got destroyed my first match.
Really?
Yeah, I was so nervous and just like I had no idea. It was like, I had no idea what to expect. Zero. I wrestled, but I didn't know if it was going to be like a wrestling match. And the kid just mauled me. I mean, I didn't get subbed, but I got basically tech falled in a grappling match. And it was just like, what the hell just happened? And then it kind of just like, all right, it's not, it's basically a wrestling match. So then I did much better after that.
But then where we fucked up is like we were going there for every day for jiu-jitsu and and then sparring once a week, and we had never done any boxing or kickboxing or
nothing.
any type of strike, karate or anything like that. And since we were there for jiu-jitsu, we started taking the cardio kickboxing class.
Let me tell you something. Those I would take it. There was a bunch of women. Those things kicked my butt.
That's how I met my wife too. She was.
Let me tell you something, I've seen some women that like, man, you don't want to mess with them. I mean, they're kicking that bag pretty hard.
Yeah.
And so I know what you're saying.
So it was kind of like you're trying to be a professional, and it's like you're doing a cardio kickboxing. But hey, you know
it
what?
could have been worse.
Could have been
You could have
worse.
been taking like Pilates or something,
Yeah.
And then competing in a Pilates competition on the side, doing your MMA on one side, one day a week, and then go do the Pilates on the next.
So it was and that place ended up it closed down, and we moved schools, and then we were there for a while, 7 years, something like that, and then we opened this place up. And it's been a ride.
Yeah.
So you feel like as you guys are getting older now, it's getting a little harder because I'm a lot older than you guys, but I feel it.
Yeah.
And I feel it, and but I don't want to give up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the thing that gets me is like I look at some of these younger guys, and I'm like, man, there was a point in my day when I was young and I could do a lot of things that I can't do.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Like you can't expect that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know that for my own training, it's not like I used to. And I got a lot of guys I train in a CrossFit gym, and hey man, you got to do this. And I'm like, dude, I've been competing my whole life with things, and I just want to do what's right for me.
Yeah.
It's something I try to like instill in most older people or people who are figure they're past them and they're just over 40 and never really done much.
Mm-hmm.
I was lucky and fortunate enough to have been training my whole life, so it wasn't a big deal for me to stay with it. But I mean, do you guys see the same thing with the fighting?
Yeah, there's definitely like it's weird. We came up into fighting. We fought for a couple years, and then we didn't really have any strength and conditioning as part of our training. It was a lot just we were training jiu-jitsu and we were training Muay Thai and wrestling. That was about it. And you do little workouts here and there at team practice and stuff like that. But we met Martin Rooney of Training for Warriors, and then it's like all of a sudden we had world class strength and conditioning. And I mean, we went into the first day, and it's like bench day, and it's like I'm like buck 35, yeah, and it's like holy shit. And then it's like I'm sitting there next to Frank Yeager, and he's like ripping out 225, and it's like son of a bitch, and it's like granted my arms are like 6 inches longer than his, and just build wise I've always been more I'm good at pulling things.
Right.
I'm a hugger, like but yeah, it's like man, and the way that we trained at Martin's was we were training to get better. We were training basically for every day.
Right.
Like that training we were doing because and the way we were doing it was because we had sparring right after it and live and all this other stuff. Yeah. Where sometimes in the MMA side we got to that point where it was like you're just gearing up for this event.
Right.
And like there's definitely now as I get older it's like man, I I want to train to feel good every day. Like, yeah, you know what? I've got a fight coming up in 6, 8 weeks, whatever it may be. But if I do something stupid, if my ego comes out, oh well, we're doing the strongman test today, and I dig too deep, well then it affects me for 3 days, 4 days, where it's going to affect my other training.
Sure.
So it's like, or you're going live. Like, I mean, we've been fortunate in that the group that we've had in MMA, our sparring partners throughout the years have been really good group of guys.
Yeah.
Not much ego, and just a very close-knit group. But it's like when everybody's gearing up for fights and everybody's kind of on, it still gets kind of dangerous sometimes because if you're not, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. Me is, 2011, I'm on a 6-fight tear in the UFC. If I have a bad day, I'm limping out of the gym, and it's like, and that's not a good thing because I don't get paid in the gym.
Right.
I get paid to show up on fight night.
Right. That's kind of a weird deal, where you're not do people understand that? I wonder how many people actually know how the procedure is. That if you don't show up at fight night, all your money's like loaded at the end.
Yeah.
So they don't pay for your training and all the things you're doing.
And like, it is crazy the parallels between the outdoor industry and what MMA used to be, really, and still kind of is a little bit, and is that it's just like, it's not sponsorship in terms of what that's supposed to mean.
Right.
It's that transaction. You're getting hired to wear the shorts or wear the shoot the bow or whatever, not like live the lifestyle that it takes to be able to shoot the SEI #1.
I get what you're saying, but it's like, to me, right? And a couple of things, we'll bring up my drink I came up with him.
Mm-hmm.
It was only because I was pushed
Mm-hmm.
by one of the sponsors who actually said, "Hey, man, you got to do some things for yourself." But when you talk about sponsorships, it's kind of weird to me when I'm hearing that they wouldn't support you to get you in the ring, because it's, but you're not going to be there. You're not going to be ready for the ring if you don't have the training, to get in there.
And like, when we were fighting on the local circuit, it's like, we're framing during the day and training at night.
Right.
It was good in certain ways because it kind of forced us to condense our work in the gym, and we would kind of train specifically to go hard for 15 minutes because that was our fight length.
Right.
And it's like everything else, and then once we signed with the UFC, it's like, all right, we had to tell the old man, like, we're we can't work with you every day now, and we have to focus on training because we're fighting the best guys in the world. And even though you're coming in and fighting for pennies, you still had to make that jump.
Sure.
And that's the thing, is like, if somebody was there along the way sponsoring you, and like, here's $500 a month just to here, pay for some gas, pay for a little training, so that you can not have to have that day job to go fight on the highest platform in the sport. But it's it's definitely weird the way that it's always been.
Man, it's like that in everything.
Yeah.
10% of the people get 90% of the money.
Mm-hmm.
Every walk of life. If you go down and think about it, 10% of the people get 90%, and the rest, if you make it, if you're winning, if you're top guy, you're going to get it.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just, the hard thing is to sit there and think about, you don't want to give up.
Yeah.
And you want to stay with it, but you realize the chances are tough to get to that payday. And it shouldn't be about the payday, man. But I don't think what people understand, just putting gas in your car and food and,
Well, I mean, like, we actually spoke on it on, I think, our last one, where it's like, you see guys towards the end of their career, guys that are like leaving the UFC and going into like Bellator and stuff like that, and it's like, why are they performing a little bit worse than they used to? And it's like, man, once you throw a couple kids on it, and it's like, like, I love fighting. I've always done it to go out and do my best. Like, that's always been the drive. Like, fortunately, winning has come rather easily. You know, like
Right.
it hasn't been like, you know, I've won most of my fights. You know, more than I've lost. But I always wanted the best out of myself. That was the idea.
Right.
Like it didn't matter who I was fighting. I want to perform my best, and I want them to bring out the best in me. And that's really what it is. But then you get to that point where it's like, well, I'm doing this so that I can put food on my kid's plate, so I can keep the lights on in the house and all this stuff. So it's like you start making some decisions where it's like, well, you know, I kind of feel like shit, you know, and like when the line was kicking my ass, it's like, man, I had the one fight, you know, a year ago. It's like I did not want to fight. I didn't feel like fighting. I felt like garbage. I hadn't
Wow.
trained. I couldn't train, but it's like I have to fight because if I don't fight,
Sure.
I don't get paid, you know. And it's like you make that decision to show up in a condition that you're not happy with in order to still make the money and get paid, and it sucks. But
Yes.
at the same time, my life is countless times better because of my family, you know. And
Right, right. It's kind of weird because I go through the same thing. People see a lot of times me hunting all over the world.
Mhm.
Going, man, I'd love to do what you do, but the pressure and the just to travel and be away from home. And
Yeah.
look, man, I'm not going to knock it. And it's what I want to do. I made this decision, but it's a tough life, man. It's a lonely life.
Yeah.
You know, you're out there and you're by yourself, or you and you know, it's just and you're not seeing animals. You got to make a television show. You got to, you know,
Yeah.
it's like you said, you got to go fight.
Yeah.
Even when you don't feel like doing it.
Yeah.
When it becomes a job, it's tough. I wouldn't change it
Yeah.
because I'm still love what I do.
Yeah.
But it's I don't think everybody always sees they only see the one bright
Yeah.
side of it,
Mhm.
and they don't see the other side.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of it's strange.
Yeah. When it's like that's your, you know, when that's how you're providing, that's how you're, you know, or
Right.
whatever. It's like the priority of it change. You can still love it, you can still be passionate about it, but the motivation is always going to kind of roll back to like,
Well, and even like you guys, you're not old guys, especially compared to me. You're half my age, but I look at this and I go, yeah, in this sport you're starting to get up there a little bit, right? You know, a little bit, but you've got your gym, and you're training other people, and is that cool for you guys? I mean, like, do you get much? Like, you only been here like 2 years, you were telling me, and the place is amazing.
thank you.
Beautiful,
you.
really, it's a great gym. So
Thank
my point
you.
is like,
I did all of this.
See all the
Hey,
drywall there?
Yeah.
but no, but what
I
I'm
even
saying
hung
is-
the drywall. Don't go looking too.
Yeah, don't go look at it. Yeah,
Don't
get
go
too
look
close.
at
That's all right. I won't put my glasses on. I can't see it.
Yeah.
It looks great. But my point is, so now you're doing this other thing where it's kind of you're still involved, you're still
Yeah.
training, you're still fighting. I get that. But there's going to be a point when that stops, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to say, well, we still have this.
Yeah.
Look what we're doing here, and we're passing on our knowledge to that next generation. And still kind of cool, right?
It's definitely cool. You know, the atmosphere that we have here, and it's kind of, you know, it wasn't like necessarily by plan, but I guess it's just kind of the guys that we brought in and have around here. It's a really great group of people, you know, and it's a very very close knit group. You know, obviously we have our ins and our outs, and that's the way that any gym is going to be. But there's definitely the core group is just it's family oriented and just a really really great group of people.
You know, it's funny because it's less than an hour from my house. I never knew this was here. You wouldn't.
Well, now I gotta go
suspect it if
yell
you-
at somebody.
Well, I mean, if you were if you drove through Sparta, you wouldn't know a
Yeah.
facility like this. You know, it's like a world class facility you guys got here. So it's like, yeah, man, you got to get it out there and get people knowing it
Yeah.
because I think a lot of people would be interested. Maybe they're not interested in the physical contact or the actually fighting, but like to learn how to defend themselves.
Yeah.
I find the same thing with the hunting, where people are more interested in learning to hunt.
Yeah.
They don't know if they really want to kill an animal,
Yeah,
but they'd
yeah.
like to know about the tracking, and they'd like to know about hanging in
point.
tree
That would
stand.
be Pat, our
yeah,
technical guy.
but you know what, man? I got people who've come out with me and only brought a camera,
Yeah.
and I know if it'll upset them, but I know they're really serious and they really want to learn. Let's just bring cameras. Let's just video, but you know, you're still gonna sit, and
Yeah.
I don't think they understand. They sit in a tree stand dark to dark.
Mhm.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
It's a mental game to
Yeah.
sit there. I mean, for that many hours.
Yeah.
But if you want to see what I see,
Yeah.
and you think it's easy, it's not. You know, scent free. You're up at 3:30 in the morning. You're getting into the woods, walking your way through. But it's amazing to see their faces, even though they're not shooting the animal, just videoing or taking pictures of it, and the animal not knowing you're there.
Yeah.
It's kind of rewarding. So
Yeah.
I wonder how many people, if they knew this place was here and didn't feel intimidated that they'd have to fight every time they came in, would love to do the training and just to get people who, you know,
Yeah.
just to learn to defend themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we're working on it. We're
Yeah.
trying.
We do have a pretty diverse class mix
Yeah,
too. So we
yeah.
run kids classes,
Right.
we run cardio classes. So you can definitely come in here, get a great workout, and nobody will punch you in the face unless you ask them to.
Is there height requirement?
Nope, there's
No.
no height
Oh,
requirement.
Okay, just for myself. Like to cut that out of the way right away, you know.
The other thing too is we have some amateur fighters. Our
Yeah.
amateur record is outstanding.
Yeah.
Some of our up and comers. We just went 2 for 2 this weekend,
Yep.
Wow.
and
2 weeks ago we had
3 for 3,
now,
right?
Yeah.
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 Our guys have been doing very
Yeah.
successful.
That's cool.
So that's something to be proud of.
Yeah.
Jim and Dan, who they brought in, and
Yeah.
and the whole culture. I think
Coaches.
is
Yeah.
it's hard-working
Coaches are doing
culture.
a fantastic job.
Yeah.
Right. And let me ask you now, as you guys are getting older with your training, have you changed things up a bit?
Slow
The things
down.
you used to do with, well, you things you used to do when you were 20 that you,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Slowed down the I remember, fighting and then taking a couple weeks off and then jumping right back into it. And it would be like, all right, you'd be sore for 2-3 days,
Right.
4 days, and then it'd be fine. You could just get right back into it. Now it's like,
You'd
my
plan that.
God. Yeah, you got to
plan that
plan your
work back out,
entrance.
like,
It
I need a
doesn't-
solid month of
yeah.
like little
going
by little.
slow,
Yeah.
coming in a little bit longer, going a little harder, and then it's still hard because it's like you still have that ego of like, fuck that, man.
Yeah, you can
young,
do it.
I
Right,
can
right.
still,
Yeah.
still kick your ass. But it takes a lot longer to get back into it. A
Wow.
lot longer. It's not as easy as it used to be. Just be like, oh yeah, I've been off for a month now. I can just
You know,
jump in on a Sunday, get beat up for a little bit, and then that whole next week you be sore, but then it's gone
Right
in
back
a
to
week and
training,
you're
yeah.
right back in.
it's weird though because I mean, I didn't grow up in this kind of a culture where we had, I worked out in gyms. I didn't start till I was late in life again. You know, I was always playing ball. I didn't have to. You know, we didn't really do that. And then,
Yeah.
I wish I did the kind of training I'm doing now, or kind of like what you guys are doing, because I mean, I've been doing this CrossFit. Now, look, I'm not good at it. I don't compete or anything like that, but I do it because it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm on the mountaintop. I'm flipping it. You know, I'm moving a moose or caribou. I have to move it.
Yeah.
My back goes out on that mountain.
Yeah.
There's no one coming to get me.
Mhm.
You can get flown out. It's $10,000 to have those helicopters come in and get you out. And I mean, you're just bringing a world of hurt on
Yeah.
yourself. So if you're going to go there, flipping tires, using a sledgehammer, and he builds strength.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, like, I always lifted weights, and I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't bench press anything in the woods.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't see where I'm going to actually use this. And then as I got older now, my ligaments and my joints just can't handle it.
Mm.
They can't handle that kind of weight. So I think that whole cardio thing, I mean, I just look at what you guys do,
Yeah.
and it's kind of geared up for being outdoors and
Yeah.
being physical, and
Yeah.
it fits a lifestyle, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that that what you do in the backcountry is so underestimated by people that don't understand it. Like you shoot a moose or your brown bear in Alaska. What's it like getting that animal back to civilization?
Well, first thing in Alaska, there's something called a wanton waste law. That means every piece of every piece of red meat, bloodshot or not, has to come out of that animal before you remove the hide or the horns.
Hmm.
So people don't understand that. And I'm talking, they've come down with helicopters, Fish and Wildlife, inspected carcasses. I mean, every piece of neck meat. And you basically make one bag that becomes dog food because it's been bloodshot or whatever. That humans can't eat it, but it still has to be removed. And it's all removed on your back.
On your back.
So
That's
you pack
crazy.
it out. So, I've been doing stuff like with the water jugs. I pack it. I'll start now, and I'll get ready because I'll be in Alaska in November. And, I'm going to have to pack an animal out. And it's up mountains, it's down. It takes a lot of toll, especially, like I said, I'm old. I'm 59 years old. So my body, I becomes a year-round thing just to be in shape to do a trip like that.
Hmm.
But, yeah, I mean, it's just like going to work, man. You shoot the
Yeah.
animal, it goes down. You owe it to that animal. You've taken its life to harvest the meat and do it properly.
Oh, absolutely.
There's no steak I've ever had that has tasted better than, like especially like you're eating these either freeze-dried Mountain House or catching maybe some fish in the stream if you're lucky. But that first piece of meat, like I went on the last hunt in Alaska. I was 2 weeks in Alaska for caribou, and they drop us off with a boat and pick you up in 2 weeks. And set up our tent camp, and it was me and 2 cameramen, my son and another guy who I brought up from Argentina. And when you first put that caribou meat, we finally got one after 4 days, and you put it on that fire, that open fire, and you're sitting there on a stream in Alaska, and the northern lights are coming through, and you're like, dude,
Yeah.
I've made good money in my life. I've done a lot of cool things. I don't know. I can't explain it, but
Yeah.
I'm not a real religious man. I'm not a church goer, but I believe. If you doubt there's a God and you sit on that river, sorry, man. You got to come with me and see that. If you doubt that there's something out there, because I've just seen some of the most beautiful things. Been on a mountaintop and just been in awe, and wonder, like almost brings tears to your eyes when you're sitting there looking, going, "This is unbelievable. I can't believe this is me, the kid from Brooklyn, up on this mountain." Like that's the cool thing. Like you guys have done such cool stuff with what you're doing, and now as you're getting into the outdoor world and doing more, the first trip maybe you set up and you're going to go to Alaska, and you're going to do something, and you get up on that mountain. It's like, you remember the guy who was chasing the deer in Sparta, New Jersey, and then you go, look at us now, man. And it's not. It's just that you're physically able to do it, and then if you start honing your skills, where your survival skills, where you can do this. I guess it's as cool as like going in the ring and saying, "Hey, man, I survived. I know I can handle myself here." It's just adding another thing, another dimension to your life.
Yeah.
Where you're going to a place that, like, man, it's all relying on you physically.
Yeah.
Like, if you can't do this physically, you're not going.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, that means something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe in the end, it doesn't mean anything. I don't really know, but it does to me.
Got me fired up.
Yeah.
I want to go right now.
It's cool, man. It's cool.
Well,
Like I said, it's just. Yeah, I've been to some pretty amazing places.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. That's kind of like we were saying, in the ring, it's such a small look, your 15 minutes. The same thing with hunting, that, taking that shot is just a small portion of what you do. Getting ready, like you said, getting into wood with no scent, and then getting the animal out is really kind of.
Well, most suburban
huge
hunts
piece.
are not bad, because you guys can help drag your deer out. You call 3 buddies and everybody, and I'm not knocking that, because that's all cool and I do it.
Yeah.
So don't get me wrong. I think the thing for me in the backcountry hunts, that became very intense. You're going to sit all day. It's like, boredom, bam, there's this thing. Your heart's pumping. You get your shot. But the backcountry hunts, the reflection, the time where you have to, in the ring it's tight. It's 15 minutes, boom. But when you get to sit on a mountain and think about your life and your family and all the things you've done, man, it puts it all in perspective, is what I'm trying to say. And to know that you're up there and you could do that, and you're staying in a tent, and I've had ice storms blowing. We got stuck on a mountain, had to come down. One time in my life where I actually froze up trying to cross rocks, because my guide is basically like, dude, I'm going to get down. He's 25 years old. I'm going to get down. Here's the way. Follow me. But you got to get down. Like, we can't help you. Like, I can't carry you. It's dangerous. So, you're going from rock to rock, and it's ice, and you're like, man, if I go, I'm off this mountain. It scares you a little bit. But I think you should do something every day, at least once a day, that scares you. One thing that you're afraid of. Just, I don't care what it is. One stupid thing a day that you're afraid of, because, I don't know, it makes this whole thing worth doing, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. What else? You've got family, but, my kids are grown. My kids are your age. So, my kids are gone. They do their own thing. I talk to them and stuff, but, when you get older, you start looking back and you go, wow, what's this all about? And I don't know. I'm just still filling the bucket list, is what I'm saying.
Should touch a snake every day.
Something that scares you, not something specific. You should be able to choose it. Fuck snakes. I don't like snakes.
No,
they freak me out. They're unnatural.
They're unnatural.
They're weird, but I don't mind them. I had a big python. I did a thing for Dead Downwind. A buddy of mine has. Did you ever see? I don't know. You guys are young. There was a white snake video. There was a big white.
Oh, we know white snake.
Yeah, we know white snake.
This is my buddy's. It was his snake. This guy JJ. and he was an animal trainer. And we did one where he lowered the thing. I'm sitting there with like dead downwind, you're all still. It's on YouTube. It's funny as hell. It's so stupid because it was years ago. And I got the snake come down over me like this, and I'm like, never give away your permission. Never give away your position. Become invisible with dead downwind. And the snake kind of like didn't know I was there and just like kind of went by. It was a big ass snake though.
I think we should reenact that.
We should, yeah. We
You
should do
should play
something
it.
scary
You should
every
find
day.
it, man.
I
It's
should.
on what's it on? I think it's on the it might be under my name, Gus Congemi. Go just scroll. You're right there now. Scroll down on that. Just keep scrolling all the way to the end. There's got to be load more.
I think.
Oh, there it is. That's it right there.
This
See that
one
one
here?
right there? There it is. Now you're going to get a laugh, man. This is early Gus, like the early Gus, you know, the beardless Gus.
Skip the ad, and here we go.
Become invisible. See, all the prep that we should do to keep yourself invisible, right? Notice that? Look at that.
Like some Rambo shit.
Yeah, well, you know, you're just against the tree and you want to just stay there, right? Because you don't want anything coming then.
Fuck that thing. Yeah, I'm
Go on,
glad
Pat. It was a big snake, bro.
Yeah, that is a big snake. Fuck that.
I kept thinking this thing's going to stop and turn around and bite my face. See, I didn't realize all those things would have made this whole YouTube thing become invisible with that. Like if the snake would have bit my face, it would have went viral.
Yeah.
Somebody would have actually watched it.
Oh, that's terrible.
Funny stuff, huh, man?
That's
Funny
unacceptable.
stuff, man. Come on.
Keep me out of that.
So you're coming back down soon.
Yeah.
Right? We're gonna
take you guys out. We're gonna do a turkey hunt.
Yeah.
We're gonna rock and roll, man.
That's right. Running and gunning.
That's right.
Yeah, I got a good friend with Garden State Whitetails. This guy Dave, we hunted with him, Dave Schick, and we hunted with him last year, and just through some people we knew when we met him, and cool dude, and yeah, he also we'll do turkey hunt in the morning. Go out and do some Jersey turkey hunting, and then he does this cool shad run he's talking about where the shad are coming up to spawn right now. So it's in pretty fast water on boats, and we're out there. So he said the afternoon he would love to do
That's
it,
awesome.
man.
That's
so
awesome.
I mean, it's, you know, again, keeping it in the family. It's all in Jersey, you know.
Yeah.
We stay in Jersey here. You know, we'll slowly get you guys like over
Yeah.
the state lines, over the state lines.
Think, oh my God, we can use Pennsylvania. Jim, we're in New York City. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
well,
we fished the Delaware. That's
here's a cool
technically
thing. Here's a cool thing that I'm going to do
Halfsies.
that you guys are going to do. We go down with a buddy of mine, Red Eye Safaris, and we relocate gators.
Nice. Yeah.
So you're going to go in the water, like you're going to catch them with a pole and pull them in and pull them out and tape their mouths closed, tape their legs, and then get them out and move them to a farm. Not killing them, but you still got to get in there.
Yeah.
Pretty intense.
Wrestle a gator.
Yeah.
Well, you're not gonna really wrestle.
Gators
man.
in the water.
The key is I've done it. I've done it a couple. I brought gators in live.
You go in the water.
I actually had a gator on one of the YouTube videos that came up and bit the boat at night. Well, this is a funny thing. Here, I always hate when I'm from New York and I'm an Italian guy and I'm from New York and I get down with some guys from backwoods Florida. You know what I'm trying to say? Guys like who are looking at me like he's pretty. You know. That's a joke. They're friends of mine. But anyway, so you don't know, and they're going. We go out into the swamps with this boat with a mud engine, like a big long thing and you're going in through the Everglades, and you're going at night, and there's these gators, and we're doing it with a bow, and it was just intense because we didn't kill them. We brought them in live, and then he would take them the next day to the processor, and we have it on the videos, and you'd see it live where we killed it because they have a lot of bacteria. So if they're killed. Right there, they go right into the cooler. They're skinned really quick. The bacteria doesn't get into the meat. Okay. So the meat's really good. And we did a couple of those where he told me jump out with the rope. We caught an almost 11-footer, and he goes, we but he knew what he was doing. He'd get him tired, and it's almost like your arm, you know, there's no the atrophy kicks it, not atrophy. The lactic acid gets in there, and they can't move. So they're kind of till they come to. It's take a while,
Yeah.
a couple hours. So you get out and you can get them. He's telling me drag this gator to the shore. I'm like, don't they chase joggers and eat them? Like they can actually really run fast for a short distance.
Yeah.
And yeah, he threw me out of the boat. He said, jump out with the rope and pull him to shore. Go ahead, you can do it. And again, that's on video too. And it's like you sit there laughing because you're like, man, how did I get myself into these situations? But this guy does the relocation where we didn't kill him, and that's a cool thing because you know you're kind of getting the whole feel of doing the hunt, and feeling and getting close to the gators, all the danger part, but you're not killing them.
Yeah.
Doing your part.
Yeah.
For conservation. You see,
right.
see I'm looking out for you guys already. See, I'm looking out for you guys.
I want to eat some gator though.
Yeah.
Oh, it's awesome. Have you ever had it?
I have not.
I think a long time ago.
You know,
Yeah,
it's really weird, but gator is like beef. You know, you got different cuts of gator.
Yeah.
That's better than others. And when you go to the processor down here, like Florida, they got like prime cuts that are not the stuff you get in gator nuggets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Like
that
that, I think
fried
we had one of the
beef.
restaurants up here used to, you know, it's probably like 3 weeks old stuff, but
Yeah, you would know what it is. It's fried.
Yeah.
It could be chicken. It could be gator, but that's why everything tastes like chicken
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they always give you the bad cuts.
Yeah.
But yes, it's cool stuff, man. It's cool to be part of that whole ecosystem because I go down there and do hogs, gators, and turkey, and
Yeah.
just rocking and rolling with
if
these
I didn't
guys down there.
if I didn't like mosquitoes, or if I
you
didn't mind, wait,
what?
I don't know. if I didn't hate mosquitoes as much as I hate mosquitoes, I think I was kind of born to be on the bayou.
Yeah.
Well, man,
I
I'll give a plug for a sponsor, Thermacell.
there you
Yeah.
go.
There you
No,
go.
no lie, no lie. Without a Thermacell, and you know how many times I've been in Canada, like in a bear stand, and it's cool out. There's no mosquitoes, and I've turned the thermostat off, and man, holy cow! And western part of Canada is not near as bad as like Quebec, where above us, because they don't have the black flies that they have. But man, oh man, you turn off those thermocells sometimes. It's amazing. So they really do work.
We were actually showcased standing behind the
Yeah.
Thermosol guys at the ATAs.
Really?
Yeah, they did it. They posted a video, and there's somebody, it's got
Some handsome dude.
handsome dude in a Miller Brothers shirt standing behind
No kidding.
him. We weren't exactly showcased. We were just
In the
photobombing it.
Oh, good.
That's how we knew we made it.
Yep.
Wow, it's like,
Yeah.
man, you guys really did good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a tough industry, man. Especially when you're new to it. See, a lot of people who are really successful in the outdoor industry have been around it since they were cameramen,
Yeah.
and they worked for major people who own most of the production, and they promote those guys, and it's cool, man. You can't knock anybody, but they've been around enough to know what they need to do and not do, and when you're just trying to learn this yourself, it's a tough gig. But I always say do it your own way, man.
Yeah.
MMA style, right? Hunting, MMA style. There we go. Hands on.
There you go.
Hands on.
That's right.
Do you think you could choke a gator out? That's where we need to go.
I'd roll it onto its back,
Tickle its
and
belly.
I'd tickle its belly a little bit.
Let me tell you, what's bad about
Have
gators
the- have
is
the fluid.
their tail.
Yeah.
We had one of the shows that we videoed, and these guys keep going to me, man, we'll go for a 10-footer, and all right, I said, I don't know, we passed about 50 gators. I drew a 90-pound bow back because I didn't realize what we had to do here. You didn't need a 90-pound bow, but I mean, I'm exhausted, so I was like, dude, I'm shooting one. So we shoot him, and I blast him. We get him in. Well, he's been in the boat all night, and those guys were going for a bigger gator. Well, we go to take pictures in the morning, right? We fished all night, and we didn't get another one. And we put the gator down, and I guess he came to, and that lactic acid kind of dissipated. He hit me with his tail so hard, he sent me 6 feet, and that was only a 9-foot gator. And the difference between a 9-foot and a 10-foot gator is that's the break point.
Yeah.
It's like 9-foot, they're long. 10-foot, they're 150 pounds heavier.
Wow.
So it's not just 12 inches.
Yeah.
It's 150 pounds because they start getting wider. When you get gators over 10 foot, they're
Big.
beef. Still cool.
Yeah.
Scare you, I tell you. It's a cool thing.
Yeah, it is
It doesn't
pretty cool.
scare you. If
It's
you as you got
intense.
people, yeah, it's
Yeah.
intense. Like it's like just don't slip, don't screw up.
Yeah,
Be on your game.
I'm getting excited.
Yeah, that's not a bad trip too, because I usually do it in the spring. So it's like, hey man, you want to get out of here for a little bit and get some color. So I look all handsome for that. And I always usually make that 60 and over circuit
Yeah.
that I was telling you guys about. You know,
Yeah.
I do
Take
real
the shower
well.
pictures.
I do
Yeah.
real well with the 60 and over circuit, man. I'm just letting you know. You know. Make a few bucks on the way down,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
boom, then I'm in the Everglades. Right, I got it all covered.
You got to get that base
I
first.
gotta talk your dad into come with me.
Oh,
this
No,
year.
no, you don't want it. No.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
No. It'll crush your game.
You know, I'm
It'll-
too short. I need a tall guy. I need a tall guy. You know.
We'll get bail money together now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll start putting our crew together. You know,
Yeah,
our
that's
60 and over crew. You know.
They're rolling down. Yeah.
Bail money.
We'll all
now.
wear the same like shirts
yeah.
or jackets. Go walking in a bar like, you know.
Walking into bingo.
The silver foxes. Look at these guys go, man. We should get some dance moves too. Remember the '60s and all like
Oh, yeah.
those bands that would sing and do all that spinning around. We'll have those moves.
I'd pay to see that.
Yeah.
I'd pay to see that.
Hey,
Yep.
women over 60 would pay
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
I don't want to be sexist. That's so wrong of me to say that, right?
There might
No?
be some men over 60.
Yeah.
Hey, well maybe we'll get this thing rolling, man.
There you go.
Let's get some hate mail.
There you go.
I get it all the time too, especially like you watch that bear video.
Yeah.
Oh God.
You know
You know-
what?
We
You know
should
what
talk
gets
about
me?
that.
Yeah, we have to. As a fan, if you didn't
Yeah.
tell the bear story, I would never forgive myself.
And the
Let
Cougars,
me.
the-
Yeah.
yeah.
Because
But
you
it-
talked about like this amazing like heaven moments. You got to talk about crawling into a pit.
Oh,
like
what
hell.
were we trying to say? I'm like a sweet boy, talking a little too soft. Talking
No,
about
no,
all
no,
these
no.
little-
Hard
all
to
these
fuck
little
up, Gus.
things.
No, well, we heard
Everything's
it.
Beautiful.
We heard
like,
it.
Rainbows.
Yeah.
Should I start telling you about my double rainbow?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's a
saw a
triple
double
rainbow.
rainbow.
It's a triple rainbow.
It's brought a tear to my eye.
I think I said that too. Did I say frontier to my eye? All right,
all right.
I was a little too
It's all
soft.
right.
I forgot I was with MMA fighters
No,
here,
no,
you know.
no. We're
I don't know
soft.
if I'm going to make it
We
out
are.
of here, you know.
We're
That's
soft.
what I think was might be happening.
He's too soft. We'll just let him go.
Yeah.
We want a little fight.
That's good stuff. All right, the bear story was here's the deal, man. I went brown bear hunting in Alaska, and pretty intense. They're huge bears, and they fly you in, you know, float planes, blah blah blah, drop you off tent, pick you up. Well, you have radio contact. You can get a hold of them, or you put a flag out if you get your bear, and they'll do circling and they'll see it, and every couple of days they'll do a patrol. So I went the first time, and
I got it up on the screen while you're talking, guys.
oh. Where'd that come from? Well, that's actually the second time. Hold on, let's do the first time first, and then we'll show the second time. So I go the first time, and I get this guy. He's like jailhouse tattoos, and like really like, you know, you got to be careful when you open the door. He's opening like the tent like this,
Yeah.
looking out. You know, be careful of the bears. And I didn't realize this guy was really afraid of bears. Really. So.
Yeah.
We're down on this river. He didn't want to go down. We go down there. I mean, it's MMA. I can talk any way I want, right?
Yeah.
He didn't want to go. My buddy and I said, you know, dude, with you, without you, with your gun, without your gun, because you have to have a guide with a firearm. I said, we're going down. So we go through. But now I was walking through this grizzly maze of dead fish and bear scat everywhere. You start going, and all the bushes are like over my head. You know, they're all about 6 foot. And you're going, man, maybe this wasn't too smart. But, you know, now it's too late. I can't turn back, right? So now we get down on the river, and we're sitting there, and it's like my cameraman, my buddy Mike, and me, and then my guide. Well, this bear comes down the trail. We came down. Now it drops in the river. It's walking towards us. So my guy's freaking out. He's going like this, shoot him, shoot him, shoot him. You can kind of see it because that's on YouTube also. And he's going, I go, calm down, I got a bow. What the hell you want me to do, blow him up? It's not an exploding arrow, man. Relax. So here comes the bear, and as he gets by me, you know, we got it on camera, 12 yards, get the shot, get the bear. Problem is, like, when you go to a place like Alaska, you know, you're expecting that guy to point out it's a good bear.
Yeah.
It made the record book, which wasn't really that difficult to do for Pope and Young. But it was an 8.5 foot bear. It wasn't, you know, I know it's there. I know what I saw. This was probably the smallest bear I saw.
Yeah.
And he just didn't really want to get close to him. He goes, you mean to tell me if I, you know, whatever. So I'm not going to get this whole thing. Anyway, shoot the bear. Want to go back. Went back a second time. They put me up in this mountain area, which, you know, you could see there. And for like 4 days, we don't even see a bear. So now I'm freaking out because I must have seen 23 bears, I think, on that other trip. You see nothing.
Yeah.
So now it's 4 days. You're sitting there. You're walking out every day, and you're glass. It's boring. Finally, we see a bear walking. And my guy didn't think we'd get on him, but we got on him. And as you can see on this video here, he's watching us. Bear comes down. And again, you got an arrow. I got a whole way of doing this. It's, my way. It's going to be a double lung, clean kill with a bow, or I don't shoot it. Look, I know 1,000 guys who said, not that, I know some people who said they've shot bear with bows and they've been finished off with firearm. And when you do that, I guess that's cool. I understand it, but it wasn't the way I wanted to do it. Yeah. And when this bear stands up like that, man, I'm like, I didn't have much.
Is that on the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't have much of a choice. Like he's running like that. See him running?
We're gonna back it up because I.
Oh, that's the dead downwind one. Yep. See, this is a different one than the other one, but it's okay because we added some pieces to this that wasn't in the other one. Like he's there, and and he's like, but he comes back, and we try to get a little closer on him, and I just can't close that distance, but he's running around in there and he's grunting, and but I'm like, man, I can't shoot. Yeah. So I really had no shot, and he's looking, and I'm trying to get in closer, but it's like, it just wasn't working out. Anyway.
He's agitated at this point. He's coming towards you.
Yeah, well, there's really got no natural enemies. So we are. So then we hear some stuff on the river, so we said, we have some lunch. We walk down to the river, and we get up on a bank, and then that was like the ideal thing because the bear came and had no idea we were there. And I wound up shooting the bear at 5 yards, but it wasn't. It's an awesome bear. It's a SCI #1 in the world bear, but the difference is it was an easier shot than that bear standing up and a lot less of a dangerous situation. But, you want to talk about dangerous situations. Come on, this one's nothing compared to the mountain lion.
The mountain lion ridiculous.
The mountain lion was sick. I go to Wyoming. I'll keep it short, man. I don't know how many people are interested. We go to Wyoming. These are all.
Everybody's interested. Please don't keep it short.
These are all on YouTube, so you could watch them all. So I'm not lying. I mean, you can see them. So
I got them up here. The people can see.
Look at that. Look at you, man. Look, you're all right.
He's all right.
They told me, like, I'm not listening to anything they said about
Don't,
you.
Gus. Don't,
right.
Gus. They lie.
Well, that's the cave we were in. We get there. It's supposed to be one of these. Hey, man, the dogs chased the mountain lion up a tree. You hopefully don't have a heart attack. Get to it. Take your bow and shoot it. I practiced it at home. I knew what I was doing. This wasn't a big deal. Anyway, man, do I look young in these videos, huh? Look at that. Look at how young I look, man. You guys don't think that. I'm still. Anyway, so we get there, and long story short, the cat goes into a cave. One of the dogs go in. They're trained to stay on the cat. They won't leave it. So I had no choice. I said, my guy was kind of upset because it was his dog, but one of the other guys says, dude, you got the tag. We got to go in there. So we go into this cave, and we start crawling in on our hands and knees. But then that's like just a cave, right? Then there's a tunnel. Now you're on your stomach, and you're just kind of and it keeps going, and we're going down and down, and we're 45 feet underground. Now I felt okay because I was with a guy who was experienced, mountain lion hunter, right? Okay, and the dog was on the cat, so I'm figured, all right, the cat's gonna at least, not gonna go through the dog before I get a shot.
Here you go in on the video.
Right, but as you can see the video going in, it's kind of weird because this is a cave part, right? And you're crawling in through the cave and you're getting going. We had a cameraman with us. Then you got to go on your stomach in this tunnel. Well, this long tunnel actually connects these caves. Cat was in the back cave, but anyway, we get there. The cat grabs the dog. Dog's silent. We go a little further. We got to get to that dog. We get a little further. The cat starts growling at us. My guy just opens up and just unloads. And then I shoot once. I mean, I saw the cat coming. You could see its eyes.
Yeah, it is.
I shot him once, and then I shot him once, and he landed on us. I mean, and it was like, you don't realize how dangerous, how stupid that was. It was dangerous. That had nothing to do with dangerous. That's just stupidity. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. That's running across a highway and not getting hit by a car, but like just narrowly missing. You did it once. Don't do it a second time. You're probably not going to get that lucky. But again, that was just one of those really intense trips where you're better for it that you made it through.
Yeah.
But you kind of say, you know, you better
Yeah.
scratch that one off. No more caves.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are, you know, you told us the dog survived.
Right.
You're not going in that cave if the dog's not in that cave.
No.
Yeah. So,
Nope.
I mean, that's like.
It's just, you know, look, dude, you guys know because you've been there. You've been face to face fighting. You know, it just you got to do it.
Yeah.
This is what you came there to do.
Yeah.
What, it's like training all this, and then you if you to get in the cage, you're like, oh nope, I can't do
Yeah.
this. Well, no, you got to go in, man. That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
And I put myself in a situation where, I mean, things can happen.
Yeah.
I mean, and it did. Well, some people would say no, they wouldn't go in that cave. Most people I know said they wouldn't go in. They're probably a lot smarter than me.
Did you have a wheelbarrow to get your balls back after that?
You know what? I think there were a lot of comments like that about that. You know, even with the bear
Holy
too, you know. But hey man, I told you, I told these guys I was like a weed in the wind. You know, where I got that, I caved to that peer pressure. Hey man, you got to go in. Okay, let's go. Oh, you said we got to go in. Okay, I'm gonna do it.
Wow.
But yeah, it's just some intense stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, and what's getting back to this whole thing. The reason why I kind of connected with you guys was what you guys are doing. I saw like I said, I saw your pilot. You guys being outdoorsmen, doing some stuff outdoors, but the training.
Yeah.
That's the thing that got me. And, you know, just some of these hunts are so physical.
Yeah.
And that didn't take a lot of physical ability. You need to be able to crawl. Maybe you
Well,
need some knee
balls.
pads, you know. Maybe a little. That's another thing. You know, when I was a kid, you know, we didn't have kids with helmets and knee pads and elbow pads. And, you know what I'm trying to say, man?
Yeah.
We were a little tougher than that.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that hard for me to crawl in there. No, but I mean, you know what I'm trying to say. It's, you get in there and do what you got to do.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty intense stuff. Pretty crazy. Like, I had just seen a mountain lion mount. You know, it's like, man, like these things are pretty freaking cool.
Yeah.
And like, I had some myself as a hunter. I had some misconceptions about hunting them. You know, I was like, you know, like I like hunting the birds over dogs and stuff like that. Like, I don't know if I want to hunt cats, you know, because you have to hunt them with the dog and all that stuff. But then it's like, I actually looked into it a little bit more, and it can be pretty fucking intense.
Incredibly
like,
physical.
Yeah,
and,
you're humping up and
here's
down.
The thing that the two things that people don't understand: mountain lion meat tastes incredible.
Yeah.
I've eaten it on the video. You see us cooking it. It's incredible table fare. And the physical aspect of it.
Yeah.
People don't realize that, like, especially you're going to hunt in snow. Snow's usually the best.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to get up these mountains, and
Yeah.
It's pretty intense.
Yeah.
I mean, the shot, I mean, I even show myself, I pull a target up in a tree and we do kind of a run thing, and then that's the big thing, to be able to shoot. We're starting something at my buddy's gym, his CrossFit gym, Coliseum Strength and Conditioning over in Monroe area there. And what it is we're doing training, CrossFit training, and we got targets. And then you shoot your bow. When you're winded, when you got that heart, because that's when you have to shoot. If you're doing a mountain hunt, you're going to have to get up the mountain and make the shot. And it happened to me on a mountain goat hunt, which I screwed up on. I mean, off the charts hunt, Kodiak Island. Government shut down, shut the island down. It's a national refuge, so that was shut down. And then we have a 10-day hunt. Bad weather. Needless to say, everything happened. We got on there. We had 3 days to get this done. 4,000 feet straight up. We got up there. We couldn't get the spike camp set up because we didn't have enough time. So because we would have packed up for 1 day. So we hunted all 3 days. I get up the second day. We see a goat. We follow it up to the goat. Snowstorm, ice is blowing in. It's on video, and we go around this ledge, and goat's 12 yards away out of the wind. So I get my cameraman. I said, okay, dude, we're on a 3-foot ledge on this ice. I said, all right, dude, start the camera, step out. I'm going to draw my bow and come out. Well, I don't know what happened. He starts the camera. He steps out. It's all on video. I go to draw my bow, and I was so close to the rocks because I didn't want to go over or have the goat see me that I think the back of my broadhead hit the rock and pulled it off the string. I step out, my arrow's off my string. And I'm looking at this goat looking right at me. So I let down. I knocked another arrow. I get it in there, and goat sees us and runs in. And there was just no point in taking a stupid shot. He beat me. I went back the next day and did get a goat, but I used my outfitter's 375, which was the guy's like 6'4", right? We get in on these 3 goats, and he's like, dude, we're never going to get close enough. They're watching this whole bowl, so you're not going to get in there with your bow. So you make a choice last day. I said, give me your firearm. He goes, no, this is a 375, bro. We're going to have to get like a lot closer. So we crawl in, and we dress in white, so we crawl in, and he's 6'4", man. So the eye relief is really bad on the scope, bro, right? So I'm trying to look, and forever I'm looking, and the goat's laying there, and boom, I squeeze off the shot, I hit him. Well, these mountain goats, when they get hit or in trouble, they'll jump off the mountain to save themselves.
Yeah.
So he goes, rack him again. So now I'm like freaking, okay, I see I hit him. He went down. Now he's starting to get up like his front legs. So I rack another shell, and now I'm like trying to get close. Boom, I shoot him again. Beautiful shot. You see the hair fly, goat goes down. Okay. I didn't realize the scope came back and broke my nose. So I look at the guy, and I go, hey, man, am I bleeding? He's like, whoa. My whole face is covered in blood. Yeah, just was kind of like one of those. That 375 we had mentioned it before, talking about the guy with the pig.
Yeah.
That gun has a kick.
Yeah. I can imagine.
I mean, if you shoulder it properly, it's fine.
Yeah.
But if you don't and try to do what I did to get close so you can actually see through it.
He did that with a 50 caliber muzzleloader.
Oh.
No. Yeah. Well, I was facing back. Yeah.
Yeah,
I had to
swung
spin
around the tree
like this, and I came around, so it was like the gun I was shooting like that, and it went caught me right in the eye, split my eye open.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty quick too, man. Right? You don't even know it did it.
No, it was like bang, and I was like, holy crap! I'm like looking,
it was
and
like it was like a good punch. Is what it was.
crap.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty wild stuff, man. So.
Yeah, what's our time in there, Patrick? 1 hour.
Oh, we're good. Well, look at that.
Look at that.
Time's
Perfect.
flying. We're having
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, you told the cat story. You told the bear story.
told them all,
We're
man.
going turkey hunting and fishing. How can people follow you on social media and check you out?
Well, my
on YouTube?
Facebook page, Live the Wildlife, is probably the best way to reach us. And like I said, all those videos, you put my name in, Gus Congemi, Congemi, or Live the Wildlife. The videos are all there. So if you think I'm lying.
No, I was just realizing that I mispronounced your last name.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Out west, they call me Congemi. And I kind of dig that, you know. It's Congemi, gem, like gem, G-E-M, gem, Congemi. It's easy to remember. But I like when they call me Gus Congemi. It's tough with the Italian things out there, man. They call me an Italian because they don't say Italian, they say Italian.
Yeah, Italian.
Yeah, so I guess that's all we got.
Yeah.
All we got for today. So thank you everybody for tuning in.
Yeah.
Follow Gus, Live the Wildlife TV, and make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the Hands On Podcast so you guys get some more crazy stories. And Gus might get us to climb inside a mountain lion den one day.
Nah, they probably won't do that, but I think the gator thing is right up your alley.
The gator thing is definitely up our alley.
We're going to take you guys down and
All right. I've got gator skin boots. I need a belt
there you go,
to match.
Man.
Yep.
And maybe some nipple tassels.
See, I knew you got me in here. They got me down in this dungeon, man. They call it the studio. I come down. It's all dimly lit, and I'm going, man, I shouldn't be down here with guys I can't take and get out.
So thank you again for tuning into the Hands On Podcast. On behalf of everybody, I'm Jim, and thank you guys.